During our family trip, my 14-year-old daughter fell down and was taken to the hospital. My name is Ethan, and I'm a man who learned a hard lesson about family and betrayal. I remember the sound before the sight. My daughter's body collapsing onto the hotel floor. At just 15 years old, her skin was ghost white and her eyes had rolled back. Paramedics arrived with incredible speed, but the world around me slowed to a crawl. The sirens, the straps, the urgent hum of the ambulance all felt distant. Yet what wounded me more than her fall was what came next. As I sat by her hospital bed praying she would breathe steady, my phone buzzed. I glanced at it, then froze. A social media post from my sister, finally finding peace now that the pathetic drama queen wasn't ruining everything. A picture of my parents smiling at dinner wine, glasses held, high, laughing, celebrating my daughter's near death as if it were a blessing. They were nowhere near the hospital. They weren't holding her hand. They were reveling. I didn't shout. I didn't weep. I didn't even reply. Instead, I smiled. A smile they would never forget. It wasn't always this way. My sister Sarah was once my shadow. She was 3 years younger and constantly trailed me, asking me to braid her hair. I protected her. She looked up to me, and my parents used to call me their anchor. I believed them, but love soured into envy, envy into malice, and malice into betrayal. Sarah resented the attention my daughter received. My parents resented the way I raised her to speak her mind. To them, she wasn't family. She was a burden. I ignored their whispers. I excused their coldness. I told myself they're my blood, they'll come around. I was wrong. The signs had been there. The dinners I wasn't invited to. The vacations accidentally booked without me. The way conversations stopped when I walked into the room. But the post, their public celebration of my child's collapse, was the last straw. No misunderstanding could explain it. They wanted her gone. They wanted me broken. For the first time in my life, I wanted them to suffer. I didn't storm their vacation house. I didn't confront them online. I waited. I watched. I planned. I knew what mattered most to them: their social standing, reputation, and comfort. They thrived on the pretense of being a perfect family. Charity dinners, country club smiles, church appearances. So I decided to dismantle that illusion piece by piece. The first step was access. Sarah provided that herself. She had left her laptop logged in once during Thanksgiving. I had memorized her password without her noticing. Old habits. The second step was evidence. Screenshots of their post. Dozens of messages between them mocking me and my daughter, calling her pathetic dead weight and better off gone. The third step was precision. I didn't release everything online in a blind fury. No, I curated. I selected the most venomous words, the ones that clearly revealed their true nature. The fourth step was timing. I waited until the day they returned from vacation. While the joy of their trip still lingered when they least expected it, I entered their house that morning using the key under the mat, because arrogance makes people careless. The kitchen table was spotless, waiting. I left a manila envelope in the center. Inside were printed screenshots of every message. Their social media posts enlarged in color copies. Sent in sealed envelopes to their pastor, their closest friends, their boss, and their country club board. I signed nothing. I left no trace. Just one handwritten note in bold black ink. Peace tastes different when the world knows who you really are. They arrived home late in the afternoon. I parked across the street, engine off, windows slightly open, waiting. From where I sat, I saw it happen. Sarah walked in first. She dropped her luggage and saw the envelope. Her hands trembled as she opened it. My mother's gasp echoed through the walls. My father's voice broke into a roar. Screams, accusations, denials. I saw their faces through the glass. Horror dawning, realizations sinking in. Everything they'd concealed was now exposed. The perfect mask ripped away. And for once, they weren't united against me. They were tearing into each other. Sarah pointing at my mother, my father cursing them both. The empire they built on lies crumbled in a single afternoon. I sat in silence, watching. Later that night, when I returned to the hospital, my daughter stirred. Her lips moved, whispering my name. Relief washed over me like a sudden storm. I kissed her forehead. I held her hand, and I thought of the chaos erupting in that house miles away. My family, the ones who mocked her and me, were now exposed, disgraced, and divided. I hadn't raised my voice. I hadn't lifted a hand. All I had done was hold a mirror up to them. Their cruelty was the weapon. I simply gave them a reflection of themselves. As I sat there watching my daughter breathe again, one truth settled in my chest. Sharp, steady, final. They wanted peace without us, and now they had it. What lesson did you learn from this story? Please let me know in the comments.